Grace and peace, friends and family. Welcome to another conversation. This is Joy. I hope that you are continuing to fearlessly pursue your most significant state. So the Thanksgiving holiday is over for those of you that celebrated it, and those that got together with family and potentially ex-narcissist or narcissistic family members, or whatever the situation is. I know there are many reasons why you end up having to be around them, but don't forget, don't neglect to take time to check in on yourself and see how you are doing. Maybe you need to tap into your psychological first aid kits. Well, what is that? Well, for one, it's having a moment with people who love you, people who support you, so you can be surrounded by love. Sometimes it's taking time out to yourself and doing something good and kind for yourself. Maybe it's a new activity that you're involved in and you want to spend time doing that. But do those things. A lot of times we don't always know how we're feeling. And if that's you, or you just don't know how to express how you're feeling, or you're not sure where to start, and you just want to process your emotions, turn on the voice recorder on your phone and just start talking. When you're done, put it away. Don't listen to it immediately. Wait a few hours, maybe even a day or two, and then go back and listen to what you said. It helps you sort through your emotions, and it also helps you hear it from a different perspective. For today, however, I wanted to talk to you about the meaning of the narcissist's apology. Yes, they do apologize, but at the end of the day, a narcissist is a narcissist 24/7, 365. There's a reason why they're apologizing, and it never has been sincere. They're just empty words. Sorry, not sorry, and that is really their position. It's not uncommon, and it's not unheard of to hear a narcissist say the word sorry. Sometimes they'll even say, I apologize, but those are words. Anybody can speak words. Even a baby that doesn't understand the meaning of words can say words, right? It doesn't mean that the narcissist means what they say simply because they said it. Oftentimes, they are in full character mode, where they'll even express their sorrow and act like they're, really sympathetic or empathetic to what they have done. It's part of the show. Don't have your expectations set too high for a narcissist, because you will always be let down. They are who they are. So apologizing, when they apologize, there's always a meaning. Sometimes they'll say, I'm sorry. Or let me say this, when somebody is apologizing, it should never sound like this. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, however. That's not a genuine apology. There are strings attached to it, and there's a price that you will have to pay for that apology. I'm sorry, but if you would have done A, B, C, D, then I wouldn't have reacted the way that I did. They're putting the blame back on the victim when they say things like that. That's not a sincere apology. Don't fall for it. Sometimes some won't apologize, right? And they'll think that they don't have to say the words because it's difficult for them to apologize. That's why the apologies are never sincere, and there's never any changed behavior behind those apologies. So some won't even apologize. However, they will gift you. They'll be very generous with gifts. Sometimes they'll make more time for you because they know that's what you like. Remember, they've mirrored you, they've studied you, so they know the things that you like, and they also know what they are doing wrong. Don't ever get it twisted and think that they are confused or they're ignorant to what they are doing. No, they know. They're manipulators. So they would even want you to question that part. Like, do they really know what they're doing? Because I'm sure if they knew, they wouldn't. They know, and they did. They don't care. So not only will they be generous with gifts and time, some will even cook and do all these elaborate things for you. Some will give you sex when this is something they may have not, necessarily been giving, or think, you know what, I'm just going to quiet you up with these things. This is where you also find that narcissists hold people or keep people in a holding pattern because of a threat to say, hey, I'm moving on because I want to be a wife. I want to get married. I want to be a husband. And so finally they'll say, okay, then let's do this, propose or accept a proposal simply to say, okay, can we move on now? Are you happy? None of those things are genuine. None of those things are sincere. They want to avoid accountability at all costs. So just because they are acts of kindness or apparent kindness, because it's an illusion, it's not real. It doesn't mean that they truly mean that apology. You have to be sure that you examine the patterns of a person. What have they consistently shown you over time? Is this repeat behavior? Words mean nothing. If their words do not align with what they are saying, don't take any of that to heart. You know, a fake apology will sound like, oh, I was just joking, or, you know, a diminishing one, should I say. I was just joking, to make the offense that was committed not seem that great, but then make you question yourself and say, hey, what's wrong with me? So now, not only are they blame shifting, but they're getting you to gaslight yourself, wondering, was it really as bad as maybe I overreacted? Well, I should have just kept my mouth quiet. Why? This is why it's so important that you are comfortable owning your emotions, owning your feelings, and validating yourself so that you don't fall in these traps. You are allowed to feel how you feel. Just because they can't handle the consequences or your response to their actions, that is not your problem. That is not your issue. That is not what you are supposed to be concerned about. Because when you make these things bigger than, or you diminish them, right? And you start questioning yourself, and then you feel like, maybe I'll just be quiet. That's one way you become invisible to yourself. And that is something we are not doing. There is no glory in becoming invisible to yourself, becoming a shadow of who God says you are. No, you are going to show up in life, and you are going to take up space. You are going to use your voice, and you are going to be everything that God knows that you already are. And that means use your voice. So don't gaslight yourself because they don't want to accept the blame. That's on them. People always want to, act a certain way and say what they want to say to you, but never be responsible for the consequences that come behind their actions and their words. No, this is a new day and a new season. And if this is your first time listening to me, maybe you are fresh out of the situation. This applies to you too. You are going to take up space. You are no longer going to be who they thought that you were. Yeah, they may have discounted you and felt like, I can treat her or him any kind of way. Well, the old you, yes, but not this one, not the one today. I was having a conversation with somebody that I, had to draw a line on. And this is part of what happens with your healing journey. I realized that, hey, this person's been gaslighting me forever. And I was like, well, that's going to end right now. Because I recognized it. And this is a friend, like an old childhood friend. And I recognized it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I recognized, I was able to discern a few more things. And to myself, I said, okay, I'm going to honor myself. And I'm going to pay attention to how I'm feeling. And so, as this person was talking and just continuing to expose who they are, or show me, why we cannot be friends anymore, he said to me, well, you've changed so much. And I was like, yeah, praise God. And I said this to myself because I've been working on myself. I can't work on myself and remain the version of you, of me that you have in your head. No, your growth is going to make some people uncomfortable. And it is always those that benefited from you not taking up space, you diminishing who you are, you just accepting fake apology after fake apology, and then thinking that they can just do whatever. No. What I said in my head was, this person's going to have a funeral for me. And he is going to have an entire funeral for me, because I'm not that person anymore. And I make no apologies. And I don't want you to apologize for evolving. Let them be uncomfortable, but walking your truth. They were never uncomfortable when they were minimizing you, gaslighting you, smearing your name, playing games with you, and taking advantage of the position you were in before God awoke you. Or awakened you, I guess is the word I should be using. But no, they always find a way to put the blame on the victim. I'm sorry someone hurt you in the past and now you're super sensitive. What? I'm sorry for the abuse you encountered in your lifetime, or that makes you feel that all people are like this. No, we don't feel like all people are like this. We just discern, and we discern something with you. And so it's time for us to speak up. You see, their behavior has to change for an apology to be sincere. But narcissists follow set patterns and they don't change. You know, I know somebody who was talking to me, this girlfriend, and we're talking about her situation. And her man would tell her, like, listen, I would rather beg you for forgiveness than let you know I'm ready to leave the relationship. Meaning he's comfortable cheating because he knows she's not going to do anything. And it's easier for him to apologize because his behavior is not going to change. And, you know, we had a conversation about that, and it reminds me, like, they always give themselves away. They always give themselves away. You know, they never regret that they hurt you. They only feel some type of way because you are trying to make them accept responsibility for what they do when you ask them for an apology. I don't think I'll ever, there's nothing to be gained by asking somebody to apologize to you. That's something that, people who are well in tune with, themselves, who are empathetic, would offer an apology. You don't have to demand or command an apology from anyone. Allow them not willing to make an apology or to apologize be the announcement that you need about how they value you. And when you find out that the apology has a hidden meaning and it's not sincere, that's another announcement for you. We're not going to do this. We're just not going to take these fake apologies anymore. Examine the words, examine the patterns. Do they align? Because it's the pattern of a person that shows you the fruit of that person. Empty words, nothing. Sorry, they're just not sorry. It's easy to say sorry, but to mean it and to actually express it over time, no. You'll find that they also sometimes whitewash apologies. And this is where they say, well, I should have asked you before. No, just say you're sorry. Just apologize. We don't need the excuses, no announcement, no paragraph before the apology. Just, I should have asked you. And, with that, they tend to stop there. I didn't think about how you would feel. That's not an apology. The actions have already been done. You cannot minimize, they're trying to minimize how you feel. Sometimes you'll encounter situations where they will hint at an apology. A hint is not an apology. And that would sound something like, well, your friend told me you were upset, and so I guess I should apologize. That's not an apology. And it is so far from being sincere. So I wanted to share these with you to help you to consider how people are apologizing to you, whether they're a narcissist or just somebody who does not have your best interest at heart. Not everybody that we encounter will be a narcissist, but some will just be people who are not good for you. And so it's important that you pay attention to their words and be sure that you are examining their patterns and the fruit that those patterns yield. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I pray that you would have a blessed week and continue to come from behind. God bless you.